Hey, how's everybody doing? I hope the volumes are okay. Now all the yawning is hitting me. I'm sparkly. Let's go for a break. Probably got to adjust my green screen background again. Well, I don't know if it's probably just for sure. Either way, I don't care about Fairy Sparkling. I could be Edward for a stream. How's everybody doing today? Hope everyone is staying safe in this damn heat. Also staying safe from that new virus mutation as well. Hope everyone's being Stay safe, friends. Try not to go out too much. Anyway, work was good, but it was long. It wasn't as hot, but then it got hotter throughout the day, and it was just like coupling that with all the work. It's just so fucking exhausting. I don't know how backed up we are, and yet then it slowed down to fucking slow crawl. I really wish they would make up their mind and be more consistent with it. Alright. I think we're gonna continue doing some Hill del Tor farm for my Sinesta, as I've always called it, because for some reason my brain always misses a letter or two. It's okay, I used to call Phalanx from Demon Souls Phalanx for the longest time, because my brain was... Don't ask. My brain sometimes misses words. Letters, words, numbers, whatever. My eyes and brain can read different things. Oh, God, my body. Oh, yeah, I'm sore. Whew, alright. Yes, I'm on the block and ship that is not as populated, just because I usually am a solo player, but that doesn't mean I don't want to play with people. It's just when I'm doing something that I want to do, I kind of want to avoid a big crowd. Plus, PSO is great for that. I could just kinda I gotta find a better spot than you, monster reader. I don't know where to put this. Because I don't want it over here. I mean, you already are being blocked by some of it. It's blocking even me. It's a little better. Oh, I can actually resize this now. Couldn't do that before. Yeah, whatever. I am a perfectionist sometimes. I'm in my character. Let's take Oh, well. Okay, so that's why. Okay, that's cool. Alright. Ah, I see. I gotta turn those into things, into their weapons. Okay. Well, then I guess we'll be putting them back. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't got shit to sell. I hope that doesn't jack up too much of the volume. I hope it's not too overbearing. I hope I'm not too overbearing it either. Don't need those. I'm playing solo right now. But that doesn't mean I won't be always if people want to play. I just want to farm shit. My sister, while there's the rare monster boost going on, I want to take this opportunity. So I haven't played this game in a while, but my character here gets it. So, like, you know, that is something I'm missing right now. That, yes, this ultimate Orin. That's what I'm looking for right here, the Sun Sister, which I have a Lavis Cannon in it. Once I use 2 of them on it, I'll get my double cannon, which it's a weapon that just has a lot of history with me. A person gave me the weapon to turn it into it, and I found the Sun Sister back on Xbox years ago, and he was part of a clan I was in, because he was the leader of it. And so it has a lot of history with me, and it is a good weapon, and I love double sabred weapons. But it's more or less just the history of a weapon that I've had forever. I mean, it's not a hard drop. I have only seen one and someone else got it, unfortunately. Because I already got one. I found one off my Ranger's character. Oh, DF shield. I know Scope can get... Yeah, so can shoot. That was an annoying drop. That took me forever to get. Skip dialogue. Alright, so we gotta also start being good at Always this broke. No. Rich bitch. Trying to sell. At least this private server, you can't lose your money. Unless I drop it all. And leave. The other console ports based off the Dreamcast's original. You dropped your shit when you died, which is why in the Xbox and GameCube versions you unequip your weapon and lose your money. They took out the drop your weapon thing, but that's how it used to be. So that's what mainly made me a solo player for this on Dreamcast, is because I had a few friends that I played with, but whenever I played, you know, without them, I played with some other people, and it's just, you gotta be careful. It's first come, first serve for items at the time. Now that it's private server, they're shared, or individual drops that you can set it to. Fucker. Go away, you verb. Hey. Oh, thank you. I also forgot, it's Loxin. Thank you for the follow 6 hours ago. I was at work, but here you go. Right me. Well, there you go. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Hunter's Guild, my friend. Die, you stupid monster. Stupid bug nest creator thing. Go ahead, man. No one wants it. Just like no one wants it. Face. My gorgeous face. You defiled it by stomping on me, you fuck. Y'all slut bastards. The sad part is, I think it was, Eden, I think. I actually managed to get my hands on it again. But then me and my buddies, like, stopped playing that version because of how easy it was to get certain things that were normally really tough to get. Such as rare monsters every fucking room, or what it felt like. And rares up the fucking wazoo. I just think they made it a little too easy for converts. I enjoyed this a bit more when it comes to it. I also enjoyed Star Trek for what it was worth, because it was the first private server to get me back on PS4, but it had massive issues. Connecting on with my firewall or whatever. Or virus programs. I could not connect to that server after a long while. It just no longer would run. And then it died. But Eden and Ultima 2 also failed. Alright. I do miss some of my PS abilities though. Ah! Attack, thanks. Golden. That's right, I think I have nearly, if not all of her spells finally. I also do love that the private server allows you to buy monomates still. Because after a while, the console version stopped. It's just an extra heal, even though you gotta like pop like 50 of them to make a difference at this point, but it's just an extra heal. You know, you can pop maybe 1 or 2 and then heal, actual heal yourself. I wish you guys would... My god, it's a fucking bug. Okay, you can wear off shock. It's been long enough, I wasn't gonna use it. Fly, go away! Jesus. big issue of mine. Enemies hit me and I only do like one attack. They're stuck between them. Kind of annoying. Especially when I'm trying to prevent, being shocked every 2 seconds. Can y'all stop? I can't look and see because y'all are in my goddamn face. That's why I hate these wolves, because all they do is bounce around like bitches and bump and get in my goddamn way. I know I have a sword, but way stronger. They all need to back the fuck off. And then they do that. Then they just sit there and walk. Enemies that do that are just really annoying. Man, I just can't find a good spot for those, can I? My stuff is all right there. I just want it for the experience, really. This I have up too, but I just want it for the experience. I guess I'll just. And I block it. Splitting in half. So what's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? How's everybody's day today? What is y'all plans for the rest of the stupid week? I just want to get out of it. I gotta work this Saturday. I just want to or what I want. Not you guys. Go away, you stupid grasshoppers. No one likes a grasshopper. Ow. Dog. Damn, full already. Shoulders. Aches. La 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 la. Hi. Hi. I can't move. Thanks. cool. I'll take another one. I collect the shit. All of the shit. You guys collect shit. Yeah, no, I'm a collector of every rare weapon. Something I love. Oh my god. Fucking wolf. Pansy. No one wants a bitch-ass wolf. No one likes a bitch-ass wolf. Unless you do tonight. Ah, good lord. I know I could use a sword. Fuck it. There we go. How much bullshit they drop on me. Okay. My goal is that one. It just sucked them back in. Yeah, it's because they were out before technically being spawned, that's why. I do like when that happens. See, like right there, because he had them out before they were technically spawned, and he died, so he sucked them back in. That's kind of what happened fun over there. Enemies! Okay, okay. Some of these enemies that are in my face, get out of my face all the time. Especially those dogs, because they always get in my way of the hill delts, because they always cast shock, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. This is the main reason I hate these things. That reason. It's fucking stupid. Hey, I'm having fun, yeah. How are you? When don't I have fun? Are you having fun? How's it going? I'm good, thank you. Day was good. Hot. It was long. Done with work, but it was good. Just tired as hell, though. Now I'm gonna point blank shoot this thing with a fucking silencer. Ow. Ah, you dick. White rude. Alright, yeah, this is the annoying thing. Hello. Move up. Oh. Yes. This is Phantasy Star Online Blue Burst, yes. Honestly, it's the same thing as the console ports, except there's a 4th episode. Because normally it's Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2. But when Sega released Blue Burst originally, they added a 4th episode. If you're wondering where Episode 3 is, it's a GameCube game with card-based combat. So there are four Phantasy Star Online titles, main episode titles. But Blue Burst, literally what it does is it adds a 4th episode with some bosses. It adds some new weapons and some new monsters in that regard with episode 4 and stuff like that. Other than that, it's the exact same thing. Rarely ever. To be honest, I rarely do, only because episode 4 on Ultimate is actually a lot harder than episode 1 and 2. And some enemies are a pain in the ass. But there are a couple quests that I want to grind because there's an item that allows me to do a quest that basically gives me there's a list of bunch of like rare items, and if you do a certain course, you fight a certain amount of enemies. After you beat them, you get a basic random drop from this list, and it's actually where you get some really good shit. So eventually I will do episode 4 for these trade-in items called photon crystals. But I normally don't do episode 4 all that much due to the fact that my characters, it can be quite tough. Ah, you never actually joined me on my PSO? Then again, I haven't played PSO in a long while. I'm only relaxing with doing this because I want to kill out the week, and then I'm gonna do the missing episodes that got deleted when I forgot to highlight God of War's Part 1 and 2 and Pokemon Snap. I want to take my time and actually record those at my own pace. And eventually, once that's done, I will return to those. Well, I'll probably return to that before I do the full-on recording, but I do want to get that taken care of. Just so, even though it's no longer going to be blind for that, and it's going to be recorded, not streamed, I still want to get out parts for people who want to enjoy. It sucks, but it happened. Stress, depression, and zigzag is a real pain in the ass for me when it came to that hard time. Yeah, I don't think it. No, for the most part, no. Only because I wanted to get through the games that people requested, which has taken me fucking forever. Because when it first started happening, I was still working on Final Fantasy. And, you know, I'm a bit lazy, slow. I do like the games that I want to get through as well. And I had to play through an entire franchise for many series, including Borderlands, FNAF, and God of War. So that's why I kind of haven't been playing what I've really been wanting to play. PSO, PSO2, anything else like that. So yeah, plus, this game is my childhood, and it's my favorite game for a reason. And I don't want to beat it dead into the ground to the point where I don't want to play it for a long while. So I usually play it for maybe a few months, pretty heavily, decently heavily. And then I back off for a while. It's kind of like that with Monster Hunter as well. Both are like one of my Monster Hunter World. That and this are like, they're very similar too in PSO2 and Monster Hunter World are very similar in combat. And I don't want to burn both of those to the ground. But those are probably one of the few games that I will do a shit ton of streams of. They both exceeded well over 100 episodes. While this may be titled 89, I've gotten, just in general, I've streamed well over more than that. Boss hype. So I don't know how much, look at this. Just try to farm, there's a rare monster that I'm looking for. I don't know how much you know about PSO, if at all, but this game in, Phantasy Star Online has a thing called Rare Monsters. It's basically an alternate coloration, and they have, a higher chance of dropping a different weapon or item than the normal variant of that monster. And there's a weapon called this Labis Cannon here, which is actually one of my favorite weapons, but it's in its base form. I need a fusion item that will turn this into a dagger. And then I need another one that'll turn that dagger into a literal double saber. It'll kind of look a bit like how my double saber does, except it's longer and it's purple. But it's basically going to be this attack pattern and style. And it's a really hard drop to get because not only do I need to find the rare variant, but I also need to get lucky. I've seen it actually drop once on this server, but seeing as the item drops they're individual drops, meaning everyone gets their own drops, and a friend of mine I was playing with got this drop. I don't really know if you want to call certain weapons great swords. I pretty much like everything, so if you want to see something that's, I guess, equivalent to one, I do like swords. And how you doing, Purdy? Take your time. I should appreciate. Yeah, I definitely will. How you doing, man? Drop rates and super sneaky. Yes, oh yeah. I've been grinding heavily for the Cesta for my double cannon. And every time I've encountered the rare variant, he's never dropped it. Only once, and it wasn't even for me. It was for a friend I was playing with. But great swords, it's not like Dark Souls or anything like that. There is no like, oh, this weapon is too heavy for you. There's none of that. But this is the closest thing you're gonna get to, I guess, great swords. Swords are good. They hit multiple opponents, but it's a bit slower. I usually prefer these type of weapons and swords. They don't hit as much, or sabers rather. They hit harder, which is what I usually go for. And then the Vivine double sabers and daggers, they have a 3-hit combo, but it hits 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because every weapon has a combo system that has 3 hits. Daggers and double sabers hit with those 3 hits, but they hit twice per hit. So that's why. Mainly why it's my primary. And plus, she is like one of the better hunter builds. Aside from like the pure casts, but I don't like to give up healing. Uncle Luke? Nah, it's all good. PSO is like my childhood, so I'm always down to. And if you're down to ever play, if you ever get like a PC that you're comfortable with or whatever it is, I'm down to hook you up. This game is very easy to set up. There is an annoyance with virus programs though, but you can always exclude it, whatever, yada yada. But I'm always down to help you out. I have a shit ton of weapons that I can easily hook you up with, you know. I'm always good with new players. Like, I've played with a lot of newbies on these servers, and I've always hooked people up. I've raised several of these rare Sato mags, and I've given a few people, yes, I'm on Affinia, yeah. And I've given a few people rares that I've had. I've given a couple people some of these rare mags that I've raised, and stuff like, I'm a very nice guy when it comes to newer people. Which is why I like collecting rares. And usually I don't care to trade for them. Like, you can just, if it's a weapon that's not as great, but it's good for an early level, I'll just give it to you. Like, if I have a DB saber and you're a lower level, fucking have it. I don't care. I'm a very nice person with that. I've always been good friends with it. Baby duty calls, take care. Hey, thank you, Purdy. Take care of your little one. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Stay safe, my friend. Welcome to the guild, my friend. Thank you, Purdy, for the follow. I will see you whenever you're ready for the join. Feel free to hit me up sometime. We'll definitely have to do some PSO runs. But yeah, I'm going to be doing this for a little bit. So it's going to take me some time to farm. I know I'm now in the caves. Normally, actually, I'm going to quit. What I'm going to do, if I don't die here, is... Whoa! I don't know if you know that. I don't think you know because you're new to PSO. Those flowers on Ultimate, this is the hardest difficulty, by the way. They have a one-shot. Those purple Majid balls. The purple magic spells they were firing at me has a potential to one-shot you. Its accuracy is pretty bad, but those flowers, because if I were to use that one-shot move, its accuracy is horrible. But those flowers, that's all they do. They have paralysis, poison, and one-shot on Ultimate. And their primary, when they're at a distance from you, is to shoot at you with one-shot moves. And you got like 4 or 5 of them at throwing them at you. Yeah, you're gonna... I got lucky. One actually hit me, but it missed. Because here's the thing. In order for something to say miss, you actually do have to hit it, but it'll say miss instead of a number. That magic one-shot actually hit me, because if you actually paid attention to the sound, you'll hear a weird sound effect when it hits me. But its accuracy actually missed, if that makes sense. Because when you miss an opponent straight up outright, you only can hurt them when you're technically locked onto them. It's a weird combat system. It's kind of outdated and old. For people who are new to PSO, may not like it due to that. But in order to actually hit an opponent, you literally have to have the target lock on them. And it's an automatic thing. It's not like I hit a button and it locks on. And if you literally hit them and you see the word miss come up, yeah. Otherwise, you'll straight up, like, just, shoot next to them or not hit them at all entirely. So if that makes sense, that's kind of what happened with the flowers attack. It did hit me, it just missed. If that makes sense. So yeah, seeing as the rare monster is a forest spawn monster, I usually hit lobby right after I don't need to do that. Right after I beat it. And I'm playing on one-person mode because, 1, it's easier. 2, I'm not really looking for that right now. And, yeah, a party would help actually up the drop. But, to be honest, I'm not going to bore people because this is going to take a while. I've done this in the past for many months with multiple characters. I have a 180 character and this 150 character, so I spent quite a bit of time with multiple characters, trying to get what I want to get. And yeah, it's a lot of farming. Like, there's a weapon I have that from the final boss of episode 2, he drops a parasitic gene that allows you to transform a upgraded weapon into 3 varieties: a gun, a cane, and a sword. I have the guns variety, but getting that drop off the boss took me months. Not like I've done it straight for months, but then there's times where I take a break and then it just took fucking forever. So drops can be a pain in the ass. Like, for instance, here I can go to, if you look, I don't know if you can really see this too well, but I have this add-on that shows me a bunch of different things. Like, I can see my mag, my little buddy your partner, your little robotic mag or friend, you basically feed it items and it ups its stats. Basically, that helps raise your character's stats. You can read its stats right here. I'll show you personally what those are, but these are your drops. Is it like Dark Souls where you can do things? There is alterations to drop rates. You can have a party. Having more of a people will have increased effects. There's benefits throughout the day where you'll get, like, luck. Let's check that, actually. There are ways to affect it. Not so much by you, though. It's more by luck. So Lady Luck smiles upon rangers and Newmans. Okay, I'm a hunter. But my character is a female Newman. My name is Slightly Gold. which means I have some slighter higher drop luck. There's actually 3 procs. If mine would have said female Hunter Newman, I would have had the highest potential drop chance with a single player to get any of my drops. So yes, there are ways to up these chances. It's more or less based on luck, though, and how often you play. You gotta basically sign in a day and day, because there's... Yeah, and there's also, on the website for Affinia, it'll have certain boosted events. This week's boosted event is Rare Monster Boost, which means I have a higher chance of encountering rare monsters. So there's 2 separate boosts, and it's cycle, and that week, every week, it changes. So it goes from like rare monster boost, rare weapon boost, rare item boost, freaking whatever, experience boost. So the servers do boost you as well. But yeah, that forecast is basically telling you, oh, this certain type of character, class, sex, whatever, has this increased luck for this amount of time. I feel good. So I'm not too lucky, but I got some decent luck when it comes to drops. So yes, there is a way to affect it. But it's more or less like based on the day, because the command I typed in was called forecast, which tells me that. And that changes randomly throughout the day. But that's private server only. That was never in the original console version. But like, if you were to ever play, I have duplicates of most of these things. I could easily give you some of these. And, you know, I boost your ass. I do that to a lot of new players. I'm definitely down to play this with you and Zero and whoever else wants to kick some ass. But I got some good stuff that would definitely help you. And as for my mag friend, here's my stats, by the way. My character's a hunter. She's a again, you know I'm a focus on melee most of the time. However, I do have a ranger who uses guns. But again, that's also focused on power, though. Would it run on the... Yes, it would. PSO is not heavily graphic at all. I mean, okay, there are times that my computer has stuttered with this game, or this game has stuttered. But yes, it can. You can also change and you can lower some settings. There is some settings in the client that you can lower. You know, the graphic quality of like shadows and whatever, and enemy detailing, that kind of thing. You can also change your resolution. You can do all that. So if your computer can't handle it at its fullest capabilities, you can lower its settings. And the game doesn't even look all that great, to be honest. So it's like, it's not going to take that much. And yes, I've ran this game on a shitty $500 Dell. Or Toshiba, not Dell. You'd be fine. You'd be fine. I don't know how good your connection to the internet is, but the game can take a bit to download depending on that. But yeah, I'm down to hook you up and play all day, every day now. But I think that's the command. Or is it just PSO? Yeah, there it is. It's just PSO. But there you go, in case you wanted the link. I think there's a couple private servers that are alive, I think, but Affinia is the most recent one that I got into after 2 others. Actually, 3 others. There's Sachek, Ultima, Eden, Affinia. I've played 4 total private servers, 3 of which are dead. To me, anyway. I don't know if they're permanently dead. I think they're still alive. And I know Sachak has the potential to connect to your GameCube. I'm not sure if these do. But Sachak, the first private server, just sucked. It would not connect unless, like, my virus and firewall were down. Yeah, that was really bad. Hey, take your time, man. I'm always open to play new games. New games, this, Monster Hunter, whatever games you want to play. I'm always down to hook you up and help. I just wish this game would get a remaster or a remake and actually look good, like PSO2 graphics with this kind of gameplay still. Because I would not want this game to basically be what PSO2 is, but I would love that set in that graphics system. that graphics, and I would love just revamped combat style, but not PSO2's combat. Like, I love it. It's just, I feel like it's just a little too, like, raid MMO-y boss fighty. And that's not, a lot of that turns me off after a while. Which is why I'm debating on actually playing the newer Final Fantasy MMOs, like 14 or whatever. Like, it's because I want to play 11 and 14, but MMOs that are expansive like that, for a guy who primarily does solo, just so he can play a game, it is a pain. And I don't mind co-oping, it's just, yeah, big MMOs like that turn me off. Which is why I stopped playing PSO2 for the most part. I haven't quit it, it's just, there's a lot, it's like, ugh. I love it, but then I also don't at the same time. DBO is another one. I love it and hate it. But DBO online is actually more like World of Warcraft, where you got like the hotkeys to hit and do attacks, and then you got just random enemies on an overworld. Unlike this in PSO2, where you go to an area and you fight a bunch of monsters and you're just mashing the same button over and over again. So do these. Very cool. Final Fantasy's MMOs? Probably yes, because raid fights exist. Like big monsters that require you to have like a good party of like, I don't know how many people you can have at a party. PSO2 does have raid fights, but they're not Final Fantasy's level of like difficulty, or I don't even know how difficult some of those fights are, but it's just, I've seen like 3 or 4 parties fighting a massive boss, and like they're just doing stupid amounts of damage, and it just, to me, it just it's hard to play. That's all it is. It's nothing like massive MMOs like World of Warcraft or anything like that, but I just wish it wasn't a typical MMO where it's like, oh, you want to get this awesome shit? Well, you got to go do this, 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 and this. You got to sign in for this, this, and this. It's like, motherfucker, no. That's my main thing about MMOs that I despise. Is this game already is grindy? Bigger MMOs are way grindier, and that's my biggest turnoff. But I do want to play 14, I want to play 11 a little bit and actually try to get into it. The reason I didn't get into 11 is because 12? Or not 11, I mean, yeah. The reason I didn't get into 12 is because of 11's combat system. Sorry. The reason I didn't get into 11 is because coming from 10 and 10-2, switching to that and its combat style, it's drastic as fuck. It's an MMO. And I've wasted many years of my life playing this prior. And that's why I never really gave PSU, Phantasy Star Universe, and Final Fantasy too much of a chance. And I just I just never really had the money to really pay for it. I mean, I can now, but why? I have it, actually. I have both 11. I have 11. I don't have 14, though, but I do have 11. On Steam. Yes, 11 is still alive. By the way. But, yeah, it is still fun. I still want to play New Genesis, which is like a revamped version of PSO2. Because people were fucking complaining. It's like they can't just enjoy a goddamn game. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. But yeah. As long as I get good. Hey, no, I'm fine with that. I just think Personally, I love the weapons looks in PSO, and there's a reason why I collect them, is because not only do I like giving them to people who are new, or friends in general, I personally just love the look of them. PSO2's weapons, I feel like after you beat, you can fight like a raid boss and just farm a shit ton of shit and just get random bullshit out the ass. And I just feel like it's a little much. Yeah, they look awesome, yeah. Yeah, there's actually a red variety of, this is like a basic sword, but it's the red variant. It's a rare weapon. Each sword, like every weapon has a different variant that changes color and is stronger than others. The red varieties are the strongest of the base weapons, if that makes sense. All-time favorite weapon? Right now, it's my Vivine. I love my double weapons. Once I get my hands on this double cannon, Once I turn this Lavis cannon into a double cannon, which then becomes the same as my Vavine, but stronger, that's my favorite weapon of all time. Just because I actually have history with that weapon. On the Xbox version, I was part of a clan with me and my buddy and another guy. And I actually found the fusion item, the Cesta is what it's called, off a monster. He gave me the Lavis Blades, which is the dagger version. It's a dual dagger. There's 2 daggers that you hold. Daggers attack 6 times. They attack 3 times, but it hits 6 times. And then after you get the same Cesta again and use it on it, and it becomes a double cannon. I've had that on my console. I still do. And that's the main reason why it hits home with me so much, is because a literal friend from PSO that I've never met personally gave me that out of his own goodness, a weapon, because I found this item that turns it into something, and it became my favorite thing ever since. That character is level 130 something. His name is Necro, because the clan was called Dark Shadow. So funny fact, I don't even know that character's original name, because there was a glitch in the console Xbox version where if you disconnect your Ethernet cable, which could probably be dangerous. Thank you for the host. There was a weird glitch that if you somehow disconnect the cable at the right time while you're connecting, it allows you to go to the dressing room for free. And yes, you had to pay money to go into the dressing room to change up your character's appearance. Normally you can't change your name, but there's a glitch involving that allowed you to change your name. I did that. My character's name was Necro because it was the clan had to do with death or darkness, so I named him Necro. But yeah, there's a lot of history with that version. But yeah, that's my favorite weapon for a reason, because of that. After that, definitely my Vavine here. And there's a lot of other weapons that that I could find that are swords, sabers, that are really cool. But I haven't really found too many swords or sabers that I really love. And keep in mind, this is also Japanese. This is Sega, so they're gonna throw in some dumb shit. Like, I got red mech guns. Like, there's a lot of cool red weapons that I have. They're the red weapons, again, are basically the strongest variant of that base weapon. Nope. No stamina. All it is a timing combo prompt. A timing prompt. You gotta hit the button at the right timing in order to do a 3-hit combo, because there's only 3 hits. And it's not as simple as hit X, 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 X. You gotta hit X, wait for the attack to kind of finish up before your character puts his weapon away. You want to hit the weapon, the button again to, and then there's the weak attack, there's your strong attack, and then there's your special attack, because certain weapons will have a special ability. This Chameleon Scythe has the special ability to confuse enemies. So you can cause statuses. You can also have a weapon that can steal experience. Not very great, but you have weapons that basically use up your money to do more damage. You can have a weapon that steals your HP to do more damage. That kind of stuff. It's really cool. I've seen people nearly kill themselves and wreck bosses in seconds. While that's fun, I can outperform that with DPS pretty easily. Trying to think of something I could create. Well, PSO 2 is pretty similar to Dark Souls and Monster Hunter. PSO Episode 1 and 2, it's not so much because it's not as fast-paced, so I can't really give you a great comparison. But PSO 2 feels a bit like Monster Hunter World. It's heavily compared with the way you dodge or dash. And stuff like that, it's very similar. PSO Episode 1 and 2, not so much. I can't really think of any other RPG or MMO that has a similar combat style to this. But it's very fun. If you can get past some of its archaic moments, such as like the weird lock-on thing, the pretty weird stiffness of your characters, and there's only one run speed. I should say there's only one movement speed. You can walk, but you have to do your tilt slowly. But there's really only one speed. You can't move very quickly. PSO2 you can, that kind of thing. My favorite thing about this game too is monsters can actually drop their body parts. So a certain monster, I can actually literally kill him and get like an arm from him, and you take it to a dude, and he'll turn that weapon or the monster part into the weapon. So yes, there is monster parts, which is really cool. So if you find a monster that has like this awesome weapon, there's potential you can get that. Some monsters will drop its arms. Or limbs, I should say. Which is really cool. I really like this game a lot. And these are basically your loot. Bah. Self-explanatory. Your mates are heals. Your fluids are for your mana. This mind material would raise my magic, my actual magic stat, my MST points by 2 for every material I used. However, there is a limit to how many materials you can put on your character. I kind of resetted that and was making my character get as pure power as possible. So that's why I'm not using these mind maps. Ah, I forgot souls. Poop. Okay, this shot can put it on. Ah. Come on, let me throw! Kind of the most annoying part is trying to walk areas can be very annoying. You think you have space, but an enemy's pixel can block you. So here's where the sword comes in handy. Hell yeah! No, this quest, man. This quest drops you those giant monkey things that I just killed. That's what I'm looking for. But the rare variant will look vastly different, be far stronger, and has the ability to kill me in one hit. By the way, the rare variant is actually female. Go figure. The ones that I just killed were the male variant. The stronger variants are the female variant. And they fucking come up and they just punch you in the face, and their damage output compared to their male counterparts, oh my god. They also have the ability to one-shot you. Because in the normal through very hard mode, the Hilda bears, they're normally fire elemental. The ultimate variant becomes lightning. The female version, the Hilda Blue, is normally ice. But then after on ultimate, she just becomes a one-shotter. It's fucking annoying. On top of their already absurd damage to an extent. Weapon classes? Like rankings, you mean? Or divided up into like types, like guns, pistols, sabers, swords, that kind of thing? What do you mean? Because mean, there are weapons there are weapon, like, your weapon is a dual sword. Well, it's still technically considered a sword. Like here, like for instance, like, not so much a sword, it's considered a hunter weapon. So yes, there are weapons based off your class. There are weapons that I can only use that are physically based because I'm a hunter that has enough attack power to even use it. Or, like this Vivine, for instance, can actually only be used by women. So, like, there are, like, the weapon I'm using, you'll see icons next to them. How there's a sword, there's a gun. That's basically it. And there's different tiers and different varieties of guns. There's different varieties of weapons, of swords. There's sabers, swords, daggers, that kind of thing. There's guns, pistols, shots, whatever. Not sure what I'd call it. I was thinking how... Yeah. Yeah, there's different variety of each. There's 3 classes of weapons. There's swords, guns, and canes, but each weapon class has several different tiers within it. So, like, there's your regular pistols, you know, then there's your dual mech guns, then there's your shotgun, your spread, you know, that kind of thing. Then there's, like, your sword, your saber, your daggers, your dual swords, your actual stuff like katanas, which is just a normal sword, but it's a katana. And then there's your canes, your rods, that kind of thing. I'm not sure if that's what you meant. But that's another way of classing different weapon types. But if you're going by, like, the type of weapon it is and the type of character you need to be, each weapon is divided up into one of 3 categories: gun, cane, or sword. Which is cool, it lets you know. Depending on what weapon it is, it'll have one of 3 icons next to it. And if it's something your character can't use, it'll be grayed. It will be grayed out. So you'll know when you can't use something. Grayed out or X'd. Because just because it's gray doesn't mean you can't use it permanently. You just got to get the stats for it. But, yeah. Unlike PSO2, as though, you cannot change your character's class. Oh yeah, oh yeah. At first, I tried to do some quests to farm a little more, but it was still too tough at the time because I haven't had any built-up defenses. So I basically just had to go into regular episode 1 on normal and just start going through the levels, fighting enemies and bosses until I find weapons and grow. Yes, I did play from the beginning. Most of this was probably done off camera, but my character's scope, which is, you know, my OC ranger, she actually was not only shown on stream being created, but also leveled from 1 to 180 for the most part on stream. Leveling up from just doing typical area runs to doing quest runs to fighting boss rushes. And yes, there's boss rushes. There's 2 boss rush quests. Technically 3, but episode 4 doesn't really have a lot of bosses. Technically, I think 2 variants. But still, yeah, there's boss rush quests that I normally use to grind, but not until I'm stronger. So I always do. When I make a new character, I always will start off playing throughout the level outside of the quest. Fight, find some shit, trade my character some weapons so I can, and a mag. Because I always usually give my new character a mag, and then that boosts his stats significantly. Ooh, good, probably 300-400 hours, maybe? I mean, to be honest, this game does have EXP boosts, so growing in the right quests, you can net some pretty good experience pretty quickly. I've easily put about maybe 400 to 500 hours on my Xbox version, and my character's only 135. Now, granted, I have made and played other characters, but that's going off base, you know, experience rates or whatever. But yeah, I probably got at least a good maybe 400 hours, 300, 400 hours. Which is not really a lot in the grand scheme of things, but keep in mind of all the characters I've made. Because I have this character, I have Scope, which is my 180. I have another human hunter that I don't really play all that often. And then I plan on making my actual Twitch logo character. My Twitch logo's character, Hunter, which is his new name, which is his name, by the way. My character with the green swords and the whatever, his name is Hunter. I named him now. Unfortunately, he's not an official OC because I don't really have him as a character yet. But I have. I've made each this private server actually allows you multiple slots because each slot has a limit of 4 characters that you can make. But you can change that slot in the client where you can have I don't know how many different slots there are, but you can have more than 4 characters. You would just need to change the slot in the client. Whatever. When you load up the launcher. So you can make multiple characters. I don't even know where it shows my hours for her right now. I probably would have to quit and reload the save to check the time on this. We'll have to... Well, you'll have one. Oh, definitely will. I definitely will. I just gotta make them. And I plan to. I wanted to make them on Monster Hunter World. I did. But I didn't like the way it looked, so I turned him into a girl. But I have a Monster Hunter World on PC that I created. Tried to create him with. And I was like, nah, I don't like it. You're going female. Her name is Hunter, though. So I have I guess another Monster Hunter OC. Instead of Snoo Snoo, I also have Hunter. Hey! Welcome, Al. Oh, shit, my feet did not. How you doing, man? Ow! Motherfucker paralyzed me. Yeah, Snoo Snoo's my bae. My character on Monster Hunter World PC won't be able to compare to that, just because Snoo Snoo's a Monster Hunter OC through and through. I tried to create a PSO OC on it, and decided to turn her into a girl. But that's okay. My cat, my Palico friend in the PS4 version, his name is Little, after an actual cat. So I named the Palico on my PC version after my other cat, by the name of Fluffy. I think that's pretty cute. Yeah, I'm trying to stay cool as well, my friend. And I'm glad you're doing well. We'll see the rise of Hunter. Probably on PSO2 first. Because of the character creation in that is much better. This is probably one of the few games, specifically MMOs, with probably one of the worst character creations. In fact, its character creation is far more limited than Souls and far more limited than any Monster Hunter character creator. And Souls is... It can go in depth. So can Monster Hunter if you want to count the fact, you know, you can fuck around with their face and shit. This is just like, you want to change their face, their eyes, their hair, their costume color, that's it. And their skin tone, and their height. And I can basically give her a smaller bust, big bust, that kind of thing. But it's nothing like PSO2, where I can literally zoom in on my character, make her boobs jiggle. And actually change the breast size, the bust shape. You can fuck around a lot with PSO2's character creator. That gives you a lot of options, like Dark Souls, where you can fuck with the body and face. So you probably can make some fucked up amalgamation on PSO2. I try not to, though. I usually will do it for a repeat playthrough, but if it's for like a main serious streamer a first time, I will never make a fucked up character. However, Fish Lips does need to make a return. Whenever Zero wants to play that. Because I need to make Fish Lips in the rest of the French. I need to see Bloodborne Fish Lips. You know, I'm just gonna make Fish Lips my Dark Souls OC now. I need fan art. I need actual commissioned art of Fish Lips. And Snoo Snoo. Snoo Snoo, definitely. I just want to see some majestic drawings of Fish Lips. Good lord. Give him. Shit. If I can be put in this game, I'd fucking die happy. I just wish Sega would do more with it instead of releasing shitty Sonic games. And more with PSO, I mean. Ah, sweet. Yeah. I lost touch with the girl who did Scope. I lost touch with her a while ago. But yeah, I definitely would love some commission. What would I want to see? In what? Do you mean you role-playing yourself, or are you talking about someone else? What, Dragon Slayer? Oh. I would love to see this game make a living comeback. In a remake. A genuine, loved remake. Not... put into PSO2's graphic style or better. In a slightly fixed up combat style, but not PSO2's speed. I don't want that. I want this kind of a combat style. Just this game to be put back into the public eye, god dang it. I would definitely throw money at Sega in a heartbeat to play this game on official server. As much as I love the private server, I want this game to be more loved. And I want this game to make a comeback. I wouldn't feel this way if this game wasn't one of my favorite games of all time. Like, I'm pushing for Nintendo to put Pokemon games onto the goddamn Switch that aren't modern titles and spin-offs. Yeah, basically. Keep the same premises from episodes 1 through 3, episodes 1 through 4. You can even add 3 if you want. I just wanted slightly improved graphics, a live service, whether it's free like PSO2. It doesn't even have to be. I just want to be able to play this game in modern day glory is all. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like people would definitely have said that it would probably ruin it or they wouldn't love it as much. And I get that, but I just want to give it a chance. I want to see it happen. I've actually, yeah, a remaster, remake. I actually would prefer a full-on PSO2 treatment, to be honest. Just revisit this battle system, though, and fix it up. Don't give me PSO2's combat. Because I feel like it would make this game way too jarring. But yeah, a remaster even. With slightly updated graphics, maybe some changes added into it. New weapons, whatever. And bring it back to online capability. That's all I want, honestly. I also wouldn't mind the rest of the Phantasy Star franchise on the Switch. The first one's already on there. I wouldn't mind that. I have it on PC, but I have the first one on PC. I also have the rest emulation, but I would just prefer to play that on the Switch. Awesome. I've already nearly beaten the first one on the Switch. I would love to play the second one, which is my favorite of the Phantasy Star games. Even though the ending sucked. Actually, the ending fight wasn't bad. It's leading up to that. It was horrible. The whole second half of the game was horrible, minus the boss. Yes, oh, I know. Specifically Nintendo, damn it. Like, okay. The Wii U and the Wii have GameCube, they have... The Wii and the Wii U have 64 games to an extent. The Wii U has some DS games and stuff like that, but they don't put on shit like Pokemon's actual franchise onto it. I would love to see all of Red, Blue, and Yellow, Gold, Silver, and Crystal on the Switch. It would make it easier to trade because it's all in one spot. I would love to see Ruby and Sapphire finally get a re-release on the Switch or even stuff like that, because that's the GBA games never got a port onto those 3DS or any of that. I would. And then Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I would love to have all of my Pokemon games in one area. And that it would just make it easier in the long run to just put it all into Poke-Home. You would like transfer it to some special like box in your PC or something that links to the Pokemon Home on the Switch. Or something. I just think it would just be better. Because I kind of love my 3DS. But it's kind of my recording capture 3DS, that is. Because I have a second 3DS. That's an XL. But I can't capture with it. Because the people that ran that company that did those, they're out of business now. Technically, because that's illegal. It broke Nintendo's terms of service, because it was basically you break into the system and you alter it. So yeah, no, that's a no-no for Nintendo. Sounds like a good selling point. Yes, that's what I want. That's why I'm still anal about Sword and Shield. Not having the entire Pokedex. The reason why is because I have massive anxiety and OCD. I want everything in one place. I need Pokemon organized by type and whatever in each box. And I want all of my legends and mythical Pokemon in one goddamn place in the modern era. Especially my, like, legitimate birthday Mew that I got from Toys R Us on my legitimate birthday, which is probably one of the most Pokemon that has the biggest special place in my heart. Who is still on my fucking game to this day. Yes, I still have it. But I am not transferring him over because I don't want to have him on a game that it can't have everyone else. It's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. People may not care too much about that. I do. Because Nintendo's becoming less and less gotta catch them all to be, let's make money now. As much as I'm hyped for the new Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, I don't know what's gonna be happening with anything past Gen 8, in my opinion, if it keeps going this way. Pokemon to me is already slowly dying. And it's been since Gen 5. If you're a generation that's almost as bad as Gen 3, you know something's wrong. The only two games in any of the generations that I've just thoroughly just could not get into. As much as I did have fun playing them, I did enjoy the remakes, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It was monotonous towards the ending, though. Sword and Shield, I have yet to play. And Sun and Moon? Good lord, don't even get me started on that piece of crap. That's actually the worst game in the franchise, Sun and Moon. Why didn't they keep telling me? I have no idea. I really don't. They take a lot of good gimmicks out, honestly, and I really hate that. Like, I'm not, like, a biggest fan of a night and day cycle, as much as I do like it in Gold and Silver. And I did like the Pokemon following you, which are probably the two best gimmicks. I don't like that they keep changing things. Like, Black and White added the seasonal gimmick that changed every time you enter a fucking building. Hated it. No, the game wasn't bad. I really liked what they tried to do with the HMs, becoming like ride Pokemon. I really like that. I don't like how they did it. I don't like that it was just, okay, that's this now. I just wish they would just make it a non-permanent thing instead of the... I like the ride Pokemon thing. I want that by itself. Thank you. Kind of like how in Pokemon Go, Eevee Go, where you can ride on Pokemon. I kind of would prefer that separately. I don't want that tied to an HM, because that's kind of stupid. I like the concept. I just don't like that. Like, there's mechanics like that that I love, that I want to see again. That's why I love Pokemon Go, Eevee Go a lot more than I should have, is because You can have Pokemon follow you. Sorry. You could ride on fucking Arcanine and shit. Yes, it was basically that. You would summon a Pokemon and it would do an HM move while you're on top of it or whatever. Like you would like basically Machamp would hold you in two of his arms, and then the other two arms would push rocks for strength, stuff like that. Like that's cool. I just wish it was more of like, oh, I can just walk around with my Machamp holding me all day and not have to worry about anything. And not have to sit there and push boulders. I wish I could just... And I just wish HMs were turned into more TMs. So once you're done with the move in every area, you can delete it. And now that TMs are infinite, they really should do this. Because they made them infinite now, so they really should just do away with permanent usage items. Hidden moves are dumb. Aha! 53! Yeah, that's a lot faster leveling. Yeah! Like, I guarantee you if I was playing console, I would not have leveled anywhere near as fast as I have. Because, yeah, I'm getting quite a bit of experience. Even though I am playing by myself. Yes, you do get experience boosts for more people as well. You know, because this is the easiest difficult. This is the closest to offline, by the way. One player mode, because there is no actual offline on this private server. So if you're actually playing online with other people, it is going to be strong. I mean, obviously. Even if you're playing by yourself, not one player mode, everything's already stronger. And that I like. So I definitely am getting less experience because of this, but it's easier. I can consistently kill these a lot faster. Otherwise, I'd be dying a lot more. Maybe not so much here, but later areas, yes. And yesterday, I got fucked by Falls a couple of times already, so he would probably, without Scape Dials, he'd be near impossible. Because he has this ability that freezes me, and then he sends out these spinny things that immediately murder me. Now, if I did have Cure Freeze, I could prevent this, but I don't, like I said, I don't want one Cure stat. I want all of it, because there's an ability unit that allows you to resist all statuses, but that's not in this. They took that out of this. It was originally in a different server, and I hate it so fucking much. I'm one of those guys who, if I can't resist everything, I'm not going to put on one single thing. That's how I am. I'm a pure power guy. I'm not a big fan of defense. As Yusuke Urameshi would say, a good defense is just kicking ass. Yeah, to an extent. I put in a few hundred hours into some of my earlier characters, but I've never really made it anywhere to extreme high levels. I've never really got any crazy shit. I never really did story or anything. I played just, you know, for the fuck of just killing some raid bosses with friends, you know what I mean? Have a party with people. But yeah, I got into it. It's a bit expansive in terms of, like, you know, how MMOs are. It's just a bit bigger than this, and there's a lot of nonsense to get things that you want, and it kind of turns me off. But you will see me play New Genesis, which I have yet to play, but you will see me play. And I'm down to play that with you. Oh yeah. But I have. I put in many hours since 2012 into PSO with many different characters, files over the years. The game, though, just big MMOs like that, and it's not even that big. Yeah, no, it is. That's what I mean. Like, if they were to remake this game, I want it put into that graphic style or better, but I don't want the combat. Like, I want it a little revamped on this. I just don't want that high-speed nonsense that's all over the place. And I don't want the absurd damage that PSO2 can give you. I want this, that's all. Like, I just would love to see this game get more love. Again, that's all it is. I went Pure Summoner PSO2. Oh, nice. I hope you're kicking some ace. But yeah, I never unlocked any crazy classes. I never made it to anywhere past 50. I just played. Just had fun. Because even in this, all I really do is either farm boss rush mode, play with friends, or do a couple quests like this. Try to do episode 4 for photon crystals to get some of the black paper deal rares. That's really all I kind of do at this point. And my goal is just to eventually hit 200. I just enjoy farming. As long as the game has an enjoyable farming combat, and that in this game is a lot more fun grinding combat-wise and everything else than PSO2 will ever, in my opinion. Kite the fights in my opinion. But, now that sounds amazing. However, I really do like Braver. Braver and the Hunter are, like, again, my favorite to use in PSO2. Take care, Chocolate Chip. It was good seeing you, man. You have a good rest of your night if you don't pop back in, my boy. I really gotta go buy souls. No! Fuck. Alright. You know, I kind of forgot to buy souls. So I just wish this would wear off. Never mind. Alright. Okay, I'm teleporting out of here. I'm gonna go buy souls. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be slammed constantly until I kill that one. I don't know if I have resist shock, but again, that's... Ugh. That's annoying, honestly. Because I like my god stuff, that's all. Like, power and my speed boost. Like, I love that. I don't want to diminish that. I really don't. For brief moments, to be honest, when I could just cure it with a soul. To be honest, I do things which seems more comfortable for me, but it could easily be the hardest thing. So I usually do things a certain way that may feel easier to me or more comfortable to me, but in the long run is actually either the longer route or the hardest. So that's why I'm very weird. That's why I make things more difficult for myself for no reason, but it also makes it more enjoyable. Like when I play Pokemon, I try to fight the Elite Four near my 40s and early 50s, so I can actually have a decent challenge. And they actually kick my ass, and I love it. Sometimes. Sometimes. I don't like to be overpowered, and then I got to fucking Sun and Moon, not Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, played that for like a good few hours, and I'm like, my starter is literally leveling my entire team. I don't even need to raise a team of 6 anymore. I can just use my starter and everything will grow. Another turn off from Pokemon. Stop making it too fucking easy. Not just easy. Just... You're making people lazier when they grind. Don't do that. RPGs are meant to be lengthy. The story may not be the lengthy part. It's the side quests and the farming. And that's the best parts of most of it. That and the optional fights. Final Fantasy games, I will do everything if I can. So far up to this point, I've bought most, if not all, the super bosses. There's probably a few in some of the games that I missed. But in more of the modern Final Fantasy games, like 7, 8, and 9, all those, and soon 10, yes. Like, I love that shit. I love that shit. That's why I love RPGs. Ah, you bitch! You turned me around! Motherfucker! I hate when he does that. Hello? I can't fucking attack. So I'm being stunned over here. You know, I really could make this easier on myself and literally debuff them, but... Nah. Anyway, how you guys doing? I hope watching me complain here and there is not becoming a rule. Ah, get out of my face. Be honest, these are some of the worst enemies. You can do a PS2. I went full Sunday on it and looks like That's great. I like my auto message usually when a round starts. I usually say "fuck yeah" or "let's freaking go" or something. I'm always like, my character always just seems super excited. Ah. Hey, it's funny. If you're an anime nerd, it's funny. And it's adorable. Hi. Damn it. I'm glad you guys have been enjoying PSO2 while you can play it. It's a shame Zero hasn't been around lately. Well, I haven't been streaming, but I haven't really talked to him that much. For me, just not to skin. Yeah. That's great. Now, you thought that out very well. Usually, I kind of just put one message for, like, a start of a mission or whatever quest, and then the rest is like, I really don't care. However, I used to have custom messages on PSO. I made Vegeta, and I had him start screaming off attacks like the Big Bang and shit. Or, I'm a Super Saiyan! I do love those custom messages that you can literally use with this. That and the symbol chat. Some people were very creative on the classic Xbox days on the symbol chat. I'll tell you. I've seen a person literally make a pretty decent picture of a female's naked body with a finger going in the vagina. I was like, you have too much time on your hands. Someone literally made this. Oh, definitely not. Which is why this was long before I ever streamed. This was back on Xbox, the original Xbox. This was long before any of that. This is long before my time on that. But yeah, no, that definitely would not. Which is why whenever PSO2 happens and all that symbol chat's going on, I try to avoid it. Like, me and Zero tried to join a group one time, but the guys, like, warned us, like, these guys post porn. We literally left right after that. I'm like, oh, okay. Seriously, people just need to stop, and they need to grow up. Seriously. It's funny with naming your character stupid names or your rival in Pokemon, but like just making all these like sexual things on an MMO like that is. And half the time they're just lobby sitting. I don't know how people can do that. The amount of people I've seen sitting in the lobby in this game too. Yeah, my rival. Actually, funny enough, my rival is usually named Asshat, usually, or Dick, or Balls. I think on my 3DS version that I was playing for myself, I named my rival Gary Balls. I believe either that or it was my live stream of Red. I don't remember if my Red live stream it was Asshat or it was Balls. It was one of the two. But I always name them something stupid like that. And then there's me. You are ice. What am I doing? I was confusing him for the fire dragon for a second. And you know, he should have been dead. He would have been if I debuffed him. And if I timed my combo. But that's okay. I would have made it if I didn't second guess myself and actually walk slower. Yeah, I would have made that if I did second guess myself there. Get the fuck back. That was horrible. Yes. Is that your best bet you can do, Mr. Dragon? Talking about Pokemon makes me want to return to Crystal now. I will, due time. I can't be playing 50 million RPGs at once. Final Fantasy, Pokemon, Phantasy Star, which I also have to start Phantasy Star 4, because I've never actually touched yet. Because I decided to continue straight after Final Fantasy 4 to go to 5, and then I fell in love with 5, fell in love with 6, and just decided to just keep going all the way to 9. Yeah, that's 9 straight Final Fantasies. Good lord, man. Yeah, I did do a lot of Final Fantasy. Don't know why I'm here. Kill it. Yeah. Oh. I had escape doll. Shit. Alright, well. And I'm out of here then. Because I usually like to quit here so I can farm that shit. Oh, and PSO, I kept forgetting about my mag because if you have a pet... Oh, the mag isn't visible. Oh, God, that isn't visible? That... I forget my mag in PSO2 all the time. Don't feel bad. And that thing is visible. And it has a literal battery icon that's like... It's like Navi screaming at you, except saying, feed me. Now I just imagine the little shop of horrors. Feed me. Anyway, that's what it reminds me of, with that little battery icon. It's just like it's like similar to Navi screaming at you, except it's feed me instead of listen. Hey, listen. I can't see below this. I cannot see my typing because of my add-on. And yeah, I chose like the deadest ass server. How many people are in the other one? If I can select it. Not that I care. I kind of prefer to just be... When I'm usually doing things for myself, I usually pick the least heaviest one. What the hell? Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Don't tell me you froze. Fuck. Yeah, sometimes this happens. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Who's Fi? Wait, is that the chick from Skyward Sword? Is that the bitch from Skyward Sword, then? I have not played enough of that, but yes, she was annoying. I made it to the start of this fire dungeon, and the thing that literally turned me off was that first flying segment. I'm like, I'm done. Game was cool, but I just don't think Skyward Sword is for me. Despite being a somewhat of a Zelda fan, I mean, I'm not like a huge Zelda fan. I do have most of the Zelda games from the original first one, the Golden Cart. I have many iterations of Ocarina. I have the Master Quest. I have the original 64 cart. I even have Majora's Mask on my Wii. I have it on my Wii as well with Ocarina. I have the physical 64 cart, the one with the graphical image. I have Skyward Sword. I don't think I have anymore, but Twilight Princess I believe is on my Wii, which I did have the original GameCube version, but then it got stolen, or Wii version rather, got stolen. I haven't rebought Skyward Sword on the Switch, and I did play Oracle of Seasons and Ages. I have played Phantom Hourglass, Link's Awakening, Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds. I played a good portion of these. The only ones I haven't fully played are the first one, Skyward Sword. Of course, I have never played the second one. I've never beaten fully Spirit Tracks. Or Phantom Hourglass. I've never played Spirit Tracks. Phantom Hourglass I've never fully beaten. I've never fully beaten Oracle of Seasons and Ages. I've never fully beaten Twilight Princess because it got stolen, along with my Wii. I think the only Zelda games I've beaten were Link Between Worlds, Ocarina of Majora. I think that's it, actually. And I also have Breath of the Wild. Oh, Wind Waker. What the fuck am I talking about? Forgot Wind Waker entirely. I played and beat Wind Waker. How could I forget one of the better Zelda games? And I own that on the Wii U. The remaster of it. You are still doing this, huh?